Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day. Today is Wednesday the 16th and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got this morning, decent little time frame, got the dogs all outside, got that all taken care of, got them back in, got them fed. Neither one of the two dogs I'm watching seem to want to eat much in the morning, but they're eating everything up at night, so kind of just rotates what their time frames are and whatnot, so it is what it is. But Bruce does his eating in the morning, so he's more likely to be cleaned out before bedtime, so less likely to clean up the mess in the morning. But everybody's got their own schedule, how they work. So went ahead and we hung out though, got outside, tried to keep the dogs all quiet and everybody outside for a while, so it didn't disturb my wife and let her sleep in best we could. She got up and got around and got a few things accomplished. Basically went ahead and found out they were working on my have my lift put in at a mechanic shop, that I'm trading a lift I'm buying for some work to my Suburban and all that good fun stuff. So they finally, by the end of the day, they didn't think they're gonna, but they got it all wired up, it's all running. They got it all figured out, electrical box and whatever they had to do. So it's all good to go. It's now working. Wife's been calling around all the doctor's offices and stuff, dealing with the insurance and the hooplas, and the heart doctor has to sign off that with her pacemaker she can have surgery, and for some reason they're not signing the paperwork and sending it back in, so it's all holding it up and delaying. Part of it's a pain in the butt because they should have sent that a week ago, so wait until it's been a mess. She's been calling, and they have like offices like here in Edgewater. They have one in I think there's one in I don't know, Port Orange I think it is, and they got one in Daytona. They got them different all over the place and stuff. Well, she wouldn't answer the calls, and it all raced to the main office, and she leaves messages, nobody calls back, and so on and so forth. So she decided she wanted to go up there to the office, which I was a little annoyed by the fact she waited as late as she did. But so we drove up there, had to go out and get her in a car and setting the pillows all up and stuff. And the brace she has is so damn long that she can't really hardly get in a car because her leg sticks out in the way. She has like such short legs that her butt's too far forward and the brace won't bend. So if the brace was like 2 inches shorter on the top, it would be way easier, because then it would be able to have her leg, the brace would kind of go on the edge of the seat, but it doesn't. So I finally got in the car, got the lapels all figured out and all that good fun stuff. And it's one of those things when you sit in the car, it's just hard to get her leg even in there, and it's just a pain in the butt. So drive up there, and I went to get her out, and I said, why don't I just go in and check and make sure there's actually even somebody in here, which is why I don't know why I didn't do it to begin with. Just I can drive up without her at all, but she was thinking they were holding off signing the paper. They wanted to actually maybe see her or something stupid. So I was like, okay, whatever, we'll figure it out. So went in, and of course nobody's there. Sign says the office closed, like 3 offices in there, and I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So grabbed one of the cards and left, annoyed by the fact, but it is what it is. So went ahead, got back on the car and told her, she said, well, we need to go to Port Orange then. And I'm like, well, you didn't tell me I was gonna go to Port Orange. She's like, well, yeah, because whatever. And I'm like, no, I thought that was like, if this didn't work, I didn't know like meant like on this one trip out here. So I said I go back home and get the dog, because I got a third dog here that daycaring, and the two kind of had a little bit of an issue with each other, which I don't think would be a problem, but I don't want to leave them separated the whole time gone. Maybe if I was going to be gone 20 minutes, no big deal, but I'm going to be gone like an hour and a half, possibly longer, depending on if they want to see you or not at the doctor's office. So I said I gotta run back home and get the dog and whatnot. So turned around, ran all the way back to the house, which adds another 20 minutes to our time being gone, which sucks, but it is what it is. And again, she's been calling people for days now. They won't return her calls and stuff. So I'm like, we're gonna drive up. So like, if I'm standing in front of their desk, I'm standing in front of them, they're more likely to actually do it right now, kind of thing. And you know, that whole feel bad for me. I had to come all the way out here for this crap. So go back, grab the dog, load the car up, we head out. At that point, I got the call or saying the fact that my lift was fully installed, and trying to get with the guy to pay him. And so I'm at the doctor's office right now. My wife's dealing with that, but I will get with you as soon as I can. And headed up to Port Orange, and we literally drive all the way up, get up there. It's, I don't know, 40 minutes, an hour plus into this, hour and a half into this trip probably by the time we get there, the first doctor and back, and so on and so forth. And then else we get there, and as we're literally on the street, we are 1/4 mile from the parking lot, the phone rings. She's talking, she goes, oh yeah, we got the form, we'll have him fill it out tomorrow, and so on and so forth, and yada yada. And I'm like, so I'm not pulling her. So I literally, as they're saying it, I said, tell them to hold on for a second, like ask them what we need to do, because like we're right here. And she's like, oh, she went ahead and she hung up on it. I'm like, you have to shit me. I'm like, just yell shame, yell, shame on you, shame. Like, shame these people for being so lousy at their damn job that they can't do it. And the sad part that sucks is the doctor is a really good heart doctor, and he's phenomenal and does a great job, and everybody around here loves him, but his staff is miserable. I was annoyed by that. So we drove on by, drove back to 1, drove right back home for no damn reason, drug her to the house in another car. And my big fear is that some idiot's gonna pull out in front of us and hit us and cause more damage to her leg and all kinds of other issues. Then we're fighting with whether or not it's car insurance to make surgeries, and now because we can't just pay for this shit. Like, it's just, this whole workers' comp thing sucks. Don't ever tell people you got hurt at work. Holy shit, that was ridiculous. It's been a pain in the ass. So yeah, the surgery would have been done literally the next day had it been using our regular insurance or paying cash. But because we're comp, you're now telling us 6-8 weeks out, which is ridiculous. Because even at workers' comp, which she's able to work from home some and whatnot, and we luckily have money, you only get paid 60% of your salary, and then the company who hires you has to pay that back. It hurts their ratings, and it's just pain in the ass. So it is what it is. We're like, we'll drive to Tampa, wherever he's in surgery, wherever they have a surgeon. We don't care if it's him. Give us the second best. We don't care. Just, we'll drive anywhere. We'll drive to Miami. I don't give a damn. We have a car. We have gas money. We'll go. So, but nothing's happening yet. Just super annoying. So I'm frustrated. I think she thinks I'm frustrated at her, which I keep telling her I'm not. I'm frustrated at the system and the fact that what's the use of having money if you can't get better service. Like, if we lived in Honduras or some shit, you could walk in with $1,000 cash and bribe anybody to get you anything you wanted and get the front line, which is a great way to be, because that's what it would have been if we were paying with our actual insurance or paying cash. We've already been there, but because they said it happened during work hours, it's a pain in the ass. So dealing with that whole frustration. So we head back, and luckily the dog I took with me loves car rides. He's just chilling on the back. He's loving it. He's had the time of his life, so he don't care about that. I asked her if you want to stop for ice cream or do anything on the way out. She said, nope. I said, I want to stop by the mechanic's shop and check on my lift, talk to the mechanic and that. And basically, so we stopped by there real quick, and I get there. The door is mostly closed, but not all the way closed, and he's not there, unfortunately. So, but the lift's there. I don't try and use it because it's not my lift. I mean, technically, I guess it is my lift, but the work hasn't been done yet. But I didn't test or nothing, and basically headed back home, and everything's all good to go. Get back to the house, get her back in the house, which is kind of like getting her out of the car and stuff. She gets in the house, everything's good. Get the dogs outside so they don't bump into her and stuff while she's getting in a position where she needs to be. And then she proceeds to get back to work and just doing what she can from home, which sucks, but it is what it is. So she went ahead and got that done. From there, hung out with the dogs for a while and waiting for them to come pick up the one dog so I can go get my runnings. I don't want to leave them home. I'm alone out running. I'm there with my wife, but she can't do anything with her leg and whatnot. So I went ahead and waited around for that. And the owner of the dog, her son drops the dog off randomly whenever he wants to. And the grandmother, or I guess the woman's mother, picks up the dog, and I guess she contacts the daughter. The daughter's supposed to contact me, but the daughter was in a meeting, so she didn't get the message and relay it to me. So we just have somebody show up at our house, and I'm like, they're like a half an hour before they've ever got there before, and an hour earlier sometimes. But so that's kind of annoying. But I bring the dog in. Luckily, everything's all good, and then I head out, and it's trying to rain and stuff. It's now the time of day when it's raining. It's just told my wife and I said, hey, we're having leftovers tonight, so just eat whatever you want to, whenever you want to, and we'll be good to go, because I don't know how the dogs get dropped off and stuff. I run when I'll get back. So everything was good there. Got back, had myself, my mom had already eaten, my wife hadn't, so we heated up some leftovers after I got my shower, and then basically hung out there, watched an episode of finished the episode of Frank and Gracie and Frank, I think what it is. But finished the episode, we stopped yesterday for the meet and greet. So we watched it and watched an episode of Friday Night Lights and hung out a little bit longer, just kind of being near my wife, a little more time than normal. And we chilled out a little bit, headed back outside with the dogs, had myself a nice little cigar, and got a text from the guy who put the lift in, and he was wanting to know if I was around and comedians somewhere, and I'm like, well, I can, but it was before the dog got picked up, so it's like right in that time frame. Like, I can meet you here at the house, like I can pay you, no big deal, that's no problem at all, but I can't leave the house right now. I have to go meet you somewhere. So like, well, me and my wife can meet you up there and closer and so on and so forth, and with my son, and nobody can do it. And I said, well, let's just plan a meeting tomorrow morning. So I said, let me know when and where you want to meet. I told him where the general, I didn't give my exact address, but I told him the street I was at. He goes, well, let's meet up here. I was like, okay. So I sent it back on, I'll meet you anywhere. But if you want to meet me at my house, it'd make my life a lot easier. Because I'm having a county inspector coming tomorrow to inspect my patio, because apparently I gotta raise my taxes because I poured a concrete slab in my backyard. So, and they don't trust me to be a liar, and they don't trust the city inspector who signed off on my permit that I paid for. They don't trust that either. They had to come out and measure it themselves, which is absolutely so stupid. I'm in town, but I gotta pay county tax, got to be increased also, and it's just whatever. So I'm like, we can work it out. So reached out to him, said I'll meet you, and then no response, just no reply, no nothing. So I have no idea if they're coming here tomorrow or I gotta go meet them somewhere. But as long as it doesn't overlap with my inspector, because I just try to get that over with and get it done with, so I can get in and out of my property and I can move on with my life there as well. So, but yeah, that's fun stuff. So that's pretty much all we got right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Thanks for watching.